What is going on, guys? Nathan here with a coverage video for the new Team Fortress 2 Smissmas update. This update was released today, December 22nd. It is currently December 22nd. According to my computer clock, which I guess you can't see because I didn't expand the recording region, but you can trust me that this was released about an hour ago. And so far, of the 3 weapons that have been released, the Iron Bomber, the Quickie Bomb Launcher, and the Panic Attack, I've only tried the Iron Bomber because I was only able to craft it before the item servers went down, which is pretty typical for a big update. So unfortunately, a lot of this is going to be speculation as to how these weapons will perform. I have actual experience only with the Iron Bomber, so be wary of that. And some other stuff was included, such as a bunch of patch notes, so like updates to weapons and whatnot. And then we have a new beta game mode, Manpower, which I have about 10 minutes of experience in. So I was only able to pretty much play that much time before I figured that I should make this video as soon as possible. So I just kind of tried this out for a little bit and some other general stuff. Okay. So, we can skip all this intro stuff. So we have the Iron Bomber. This is obviously a grenade launcher for the demo man. Grenades have very little bounce and roll, minus 10% damage on grenades that explode on timer, a minus 20% explosion radius. Now, what I've found out, being this is the only weapons that I have experience with this, that sentence didn't make sense. This weapon, I would say, is a decent kind of side grade to the regular grenade launcher because I think it's really more about preference on whether you want your pipe bombs to actually roll when they hit something. I personally, I think I would prefer the pipe bomb launcher because I actually like my grenades to roll. I like them to have more of a sort of, risky isn't the word, but just getting some lucky damage off of my pipes rolling is a lot more satisfying to me. And in addition, it doesn't have this extra penalty of a minus 20% explosion radius or the minus 10% damage on grenades that explode on timer. So I think, this is obvious. It's not really. It's meant for a more precise demo man, I guess, but it's not, like, honestly, it's not that different from the default grenade launcher. It's just about whether you want your grenades to roll or not, and I prefer my grenades to roll. So yeah. The Quickie Bomb Launcher. So finally, basically, this is a weapon that has been crafted for the Sticky Horror Demo Man, which is, I was initially disappointed about. So its specs is that it has 0.2 seconds faster bomb arm time, able to destroy enemy sticky bombs, max charge time decreased by 50%. So this is clearly meant for sticky whoring. The sticky bombs fizzle 2 seconds after loading, so they basically took away its capability for having traps. Minus 15% damage penalty, minus 25% clip size. Now, historically, people have really hated sticky whoring demo man, myself included. There's one point in my TF2 career where I actually just absolutely despised sticky whore demo man. I've gotten over it since then, and I would view this as a very fair weapon. Sticky whoring tends to be very sort of cheap damage. It feels like you didn't use a lot of skill to achieve the damage that you're putting out, but this weapon is definitely, it has an additional minus 15% damage penalty and a minus 25% clip size, which I think balances out enough so that you don't feel like you were basically just two-shotted by a demo man who was spamming left and right click. And I like it because they basically took away the capability for sticky traps, which is huge. Like, that is, there are 2 purposes to the regular sticky bombs. It's sticky traps and its more offensive use, which is to sticky whore. And basically, you take away the traps. You can I would even say that this is fair even without its extra damage penalty, because taking away the ability to set traps is absolutely devastating, to be quite frank. So I don't think, in competitive play, I think the normal sticky bomb is still going to reign supreme, just because the capability to have traps is so important, and that's kind of what makes up at least a defensive demo man in competitive. But I don't know, interesting weapon. Okay, so we have the last new weapon is the Panic Attack. It's a multi-class shotgun, which I am happy to have another multi-class weapon because it brings a little bit more variety. Being you can apply it to multiple classes, not just someone like the Heavy who has the eviction. Is it the eviction notice? Is the shotgun? Anyway, so you got a 34% faster reload time, hold fire to load up to 4 shells, fire rate increases as health decreases, and weapon spread increases as health decreases. Now, this is an interesting weapon, and I'm kind of conflicted on it. And I think this could be one of the situations where my opinion on it would take shape more as I use it, get more experience with it. But it's basically a shoddy that you have to load up. So it fires in a similar fashion as the Beggar's Bazooka, in that the shots aren't preloaded into the weapon. You have to load them into it yourself. By the way, something that randomly didn't make sense is that it has a drum magazine on the front here, but it holds less shells than than the normal default shotgun, which I found quite amusing. Anyway, I honestly think this is a less consistent, more riskier side grade to the regular shotgun. It's meant for like a last-ditch effort when you're at low health, about to die, you've got nothing left, maybe you've exhausted all of your rockets. But it's really only useful in close quarters, which doesn't truly happen that often, to be quite honest. So you get the additional, effects of the shotgun with its fire rate increases as health decreases. So you basically, let's say, I don't know, somebody just hit you with a rocket, you're down to 20 health, and you pull out this thing. You probably have time to maybe load it up once or twice before you get a couple shots off, hoping to finish off your enemy. But I mean, you can't ignore that the weapon spread increases as your health decreases as well. That's definitely suited to super close quarters, and honestly, like I think most engagements in this game happen at a more medium range. So to take away that medium range when you're at that low health, I think is quite devastating. Now, I mean, we don't have to see how much the weapons how much the weapon spread increases, because if you're at 1 health and this thing is going to fire in like, I don't know, like a 20-foot cone, like obviously that's ridiculous. So it's not going to be as bad as that, but I'm not really sure what to think of this, to be quite honest. I personally would still use the default shotgun just because I know that it's always going to have the same effects every time I pull it out. It's just a more reliable weapon, I would say. But I mean, at even at full health, like this thing, I don't know, if you want to use it at full health for whatever reason, this thing also isn't that bad because it does have that faster reload time, and you have 4 shells, so you can technically get off probably more damage than the other shotgun. It's just that whole health situation where some variance comes in. So yeah, okay shotgun, I would guess. Once again, I wish I had the opportunity to use this before I actually give even an early opinion on it. Okay, so let's get into the updates. There have been quite a few, like, weapon updates, some buffs, some nerfs, so all across the board, mostly to do with the Demo Man, to be honest. Okay, so Demo Man changes damage variance on grenades and sticky bombs reduced from plus or minus 10% to plus or minus 2%. So I like this. The damage output of the Demo Man is now more consistent. Definitely always a plus to have consistency on a class. Grenades and sticky bombs are now the same base blast radius as rock. It's changed from 159 something units to 146 something units, I'm guessing. I like this and I don't like it. I like how the sticky bombs have less of a blast radius just because I really don't like sticky whoring, along with the next guy. But I feel like grenades should have that extra little blast radius because they're like you don't fire a grenade from the grenade launcher in a straight line as the rocket. That's where the rocket exceeds or excels more than the grenade launcher, is that when you fire a rocket, you know where it's going to go, but a grenade launcher, you have to aim and you have to compensate for gravity. Now, I mean, you have to balance that out by giving the grenade launcher some sort of additional effect, because you don't technically know where the grenade is going to go. So I wish that the grenade launcher would still stay at a little bit of a wider range, but I don't know. I mean, not a super huge change, but it would be nice. Direct hit grenades now deal full damage to target regardless of where it struck the enemy. Previously, full damage would only occur when grenades exploded closer to the target's feet. I like this. Once again, more consistency. If you hit a person, you're gonna get the same amount of damage every single time, which is good. Sticky bomb launchers. Sticky bombs that detonate in the air now have a radius ramp up, starting at 85% at base arm time, going back to 100% over 60 seconds. So that means that if you are sticky whoring and you are firing as fast as you can, your sticky bombs are only going to have a radius at 85% capacity as they normally would, which I like because, once again, I don't like sticky whores. And I feel like this is also appropriate because, like I mentioned before, sticky whoring to me is rather cheap damage. It doesn't take a lot of skill. It's kind of like WM1ing as pyro. You just kind of spam left and right click and expect to see damage. So I like that radius ramp up. But don't forget that the base arm time starts actually starting at 85% at base arm time. So I'm guessing that this doesn't mean that your arm time starts when you start holding left click to charge the actual sticky launcher. You have to wait 0.8 seconds and then the base arm time starts, which is actually quite interesting. But I feel that this is appropriate. Yeah. Sticky bombs now have a more visible trail while traveling through the air. That's good, I guess. I mean, more information on the battlefield is always nice. So if you know that, I guess, a guy is spamming stickies, that you could be aware of that. Sticky bomb iron particle is slightly more visible, whatever. Loose cannon, the double dunk explosive damage now deals full radius damage to victims. Previously, double dunk explosive damage was reduced by radius distance from the explosion. I don't really have an opinion on this because I never used the loose cannon. And removed a hidden penalty where cannonballs that touch the world will deal 50% less damage in addition to regular grenade damage reduction on world touch. I do like that, though. I feel like cannonballs should still deal a pretty high amount of damage. Yeah. Lock and load. This is received major changes. So, changes to base grenade damage variance now ensures that the lock and load does not exceed 124 damage on a single hit. That is important because you can now no longer one-shot the lower health classes such as Scout, Engineer, and Spy, and that really sucks. They gave it they kind of balanced that out by giving it an additional grenade in its magazine, so you now have 3 grenades when you spawn. So they basically made it better to take on the higher health classes such as Soldier, Heavy, and the like. But I still like a lot of the satisfaction from the lock and load came from one-shotting those weaker classes, which I feel I'm going to miss quite a bit actually. Remove the plus 25 self-damage penalty. That's good, I guess. Added minus 25% radius penalty. So, once again, more precision focused. That's pretty much how Valve designed the lock and load. Is very much like the direct hit, where you like have to hit your pipes. Lock and load grenades no longer visually tumble when fired. That's actually pretty nice. I used this updated lock and load just a little bit, and I felt that lack of visual tumbling actually does help just a little bit when you're firing. I don't know how to explain, but it seems a lot more consistent, if that makes sense. The bootlegger Alibaba Sweet Booties added plus 25 demo charge meter on charge kill. That is definitely good because now these items have something to distinguish themselves, and you actually have a reason to use them now. Because basically the turning mechanic that they had before kind of was useless, especially if you're using the tide turner. But so I'm not sure if this will actually stack though. If it stacks kind of like the Islander, maybe if it stacks up to like 4 kills or just 1. I'm not even sure, but I like that these weapons are now a little bit viable to use. The Tide Turner added penalty: taking damage while shield charging reduces remaining charging time. Meaning that if you are charging at a lock and load demo and he gets a lock and load shot on you, you are almost immediately stopped because you just took a ridiculous amount of damage. I like that because the Tide Turner before was pretty much the most powerful shield that the demo had. So nerfs were appropriate. Kills while charging now only at a 75% meter on charge kills instead of 100%. I don't necessarily agree with this this additional nerf all the way because I feel like the 75% should be changed to something a little bit higher, maybe 90%. Assuming that you're not using it with the Persian Persuader, which magnifies or at least increases your rate of recharging your shield. This now makes it so that like if you happen to charge at somebody and kill them, and there happen to be more enemies within your visible radius, then that means that you kind of have to dance around and avoid damage while waiting for your shield to recharge. And I feel that period of kind of dodging damage should be should be reduced. So like you maybe have to wait like a second or two to get your charge capability back, but not necessarily 75%. I feel. Scottish Resistance. It is now slightly easier to do sticky jumps with the Scottish Resistance. Increased range check for sticky bomb jumping to sticky damage radius from 146 from 100. That's good, I guess. This definitely needed this, and that was kind of one of the major annoyances with the Scottish Resistance was that you could sticky jump, but it required a little bit of extra effort, which I personally found a little bit off-putting, and like something like that was pretty much what made me stick to the regular sticky bomb launcher. So definitely good. Scotsman Skull Cutter, movement speed penalty now only applies when a weapon is active, which is great. I love the Scotsman Skull Cutter. The extra damage comes in handy so many times, but not being reduced to the movement speed of a heavy is great as well, so I'm definitely glad that this was applied. The Clade Hemoth Moor added plus 25% demo charge meter on charge kill. So the same thing as the Bootlegger Alibaba Wee Booties effect. And these are pretty much meant to combo together. I think that this is awesome. It made not only the Alibaba's Wee Booties viable, but the Clade Hemoth more viable as well. And now, like, there's a reason to use it, which is pretty great. And that's pretty much all of the major weapon changes. Overall, I would say that these are pretty good. Nothing that I would disagree with too wholeheartedly. And looks pretty good. Now, the new game mode of Manpower. This is in beta at the moment, and basically what this game mode is a capture the flag where you can only take the enemy's flag when your flag is at your base. Now, what that means is it's basically capture the flag _ stalemate. CTF stalemate. Stuff is pretty much never capped. You always have a sentry guarding each intelligence, so it's pretty ridiculous like that. But the main draw to the game mode is that you get various power-ups, and the power-ups are actually quite entertaining. There's a variety. There's like agility power-ups, there's like power-ups that give you guaranteed crits, there are power-ups that reduce 50% damage, which is pretty good, and there are 9 of these different varying power-ups, and they're interesting if nothing else, because for example, I was playing as the heavy, and I had an agility power-up, which increases my movement speed and my jump speed, or my jump height by about 30%. I think the jump height was 50 and the movement speed is 30. So basically, I got to run around at the speed of a pyro as a heavy, which is pretty good. But the thing about this is that you are given this sort of grappling hook, this little grappling hook right here. Basically, so I have my grappling hook binded to my side mouse button, so I can press this at any time at any wall, and it will shoot out, and it takes about, depending on the distance that you are from whatever you're shooting at, first of all, it will actually go where your mouse is pointing, so kind of like a rocket. If I fire it at a point on a wall, it will, the grappling hook will arrive at that point on the wall. There's no gravity involved. which I think should not be the case. I think it should definitely there should definitely be some gravity in how it's thrown. But anyway, um, so the hook actually travels fairly slowly. From a long distance away, it's actually pretty. I mean, it's very slow. If you think of CP Gorge, which is one of the maps that this has been added on. The width of the map from mid, so from the right side to the left side, if I were to fire my grappling hook, it would take approximately a full second for the grappling hook to reach the other side of the map, and then probably an additional second for me to actually be pulled to that other side of the map. So a relatively slow traveling speed when you're actually being pulled as well. But the thing is, you might as well just play heavy in this game mode, because this grappling hook, first of all, you can get to ridiculous heights and just be in stupid places. Engineers can set up buildings like anywhere, but you might as well play heavy, because you might as well just grapple everywhere. It's way faster than walking. Even with my agility power up, I was able to grapple hook like all over the map just from increased mobility, and that's really good. And I think that the speed at which you travel to a place should also be affected by your movement speed. Like scouts should grapple over somewhere like at their movement speed, and heavies as well, because otherwise heavies and soldiers can basically just grapple hook wherever they want and be pulled there at the speed of about a scout. Like it's pretty crazy. So that would be the thing that I would change. The power-ups are fine, they're pretty amusing. And I mean, the fact that it's CP stalemate basically is something that I would change too. I mean, it's kind of like PLR Hightower, where I guess like whichever team actually tries more. Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, who plays PLR Hightower for the objective? I'm guessing that's what this game mode is kind of going to become. I cannot speak today. And this general stuff, it's MVM. And random stuff, so I just didn't really pay attention to it. And that's pretty much the Smissmas update. I'm pretty satisfied. I wish there would maybe be one or two more weapons just for some variance, but basically the demo man got pimped out with his new weapons, and especially his new patches down here. So yeah, I'll be trying these weapons out over the next couple of days, and I hope you guys try them too, because it sounds like a whole lot of fun, and it's a nice little Christmas present for us all. So here's where I'll wrap up the video. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave a rating on the video, and feel free to subscribe for if you enjoy my content and all that stuff, and I'll see you later. So hope you guys enjoy your holiday break, and peace out.